What's up? My name is Julian Williams, and I take Expedite. Some days I walk into the gym, and I don't necessarily feel like working. Take a scoop or two of this, be ready to go. It's the best stuff I've ever had. Expedite.
Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here in Las Vegas, and to commemorate the fight that's happening this weekend between Canelo Alvarez and Daniel Jacobs, the WBC has commissioned a special belt like they've done in the past with the other events, but this one I think really tops the cake, as I'm being joined now with the head of the WBC, Mr. Mauricio Sulaiman, and this thing is called the Mayan belt, and I'm looking at it and I'll be honest with you, this thing is a very intricate piece, and it's a work of art, if I'm being quite honest here.
Thank you very much. It's a very special work. It's a piece of art. It's a gift that Mexico and the WBC give to the world because it commemorates the Mayan culture in a special date, which is May the 5th and September 16. These are the two biggest holidays of our country. And it has been a tradition that the biggest fights take place in these 2 weekends. So the WBC started to do a special commemorative belt for these fights. It was a Huichol belt 2 years ago, the Chapaneco last year, and now it's a Mayan culture. So this is a Mayan belt, which I'm very proud of.
Let's go ahead and see exactly what the materials are in this belt. Here in the middle, Mauricio, tell us a little bit more about the symbols here. Obviously, I know what they are, but our viewers who are not familiar or from a different background are not too sure. What does all this symbolize?
Okay, this is a jade plaque full of jade, and it has
real jade, 100%.
100% real jade, and it has the Mayan calendar, which was the first calendar in the history of mankind. And the Mayans discovered the zero, and nobody ever used zero before. And here we have in jade also the carving of the Kukulkan, which is the feathered snake, which comes down from the Chichen Itza pyramid in the beginning of fall and the beginning of spring. It's a very complex story behind the Mayan culture. There are so many unknown variables still. It has the jaguar and the warrior, and it represents greatness. So this belt itself is a tribute to the Mayan gods, and we're just very proud to have produced this and give the world a piece of art.
How long does something like this take from design on paper to actually be made and see what we're seeing right now?
The first design started last year, so it takes a long time to work on the details. Physically, it takes a little bit over 3 months. It is all handmade. It's made by the indigents, by the Indians in the different regions, and the materials are very special, and the carving is just a tremendous amount of handwork every single day.
When you're going and finding the artisans that are going to work on the belt, how's that process like?
It's highly gratifying, and just the enthusiasm that they put into doing it. They feel proud, great feeling of just pride of being part of something so special. It is a difficult task. It takes a lot of effort, time and money, because the WBC pays 100% of the expenses. This is not sponsored by anyone or paid by anyone. It's a gift from the WBC and from the country of Mexico to the world.
So speaking on that, how much is a belt like this cost in terms of labor, man hours, the precious metals that are used into it? What would be the total value of a belt like this?
It's priceless. And if I told you now, I would have to go out running with it. No, it's a really, the money is out of the equation. It's truly the beauty and what it represents. This belt carries the dignity and the legacy of the WBC, and it carries a piece of the heart of Mexico.
When you're in the boardroom and thinking of like the designs for the belt, like we've seen it in the past, the money belt with Floyd and McGregor, and you mentioned the other two. Like, is it you coming up with these ideas, or is it like a team of people that are inputting ideas?
It's a team of people, and it's even fans. We are very, very open to receiving ideas, and critics help us very much to improve everything. But these belts, they come from a work of a whole group of committee members, advisors, friends, and it just goes on and around and until we get the final piece.
You mentioned the belt was made by indigenous people in Mexico. Is that correct? So the whole process is all made in Mexico?
The whole process is made in Mexico. There's a studio, Locos por el Arte, which has been very special in making especially these stones. And it just took a lot of time. And it's been a huge challenge to keep these plaques into a very flexible material, which is the leather. And when you shape it, it's a very delicate, and we are very proud of it.
How does this one, you feel, design-wise, compare with the other belts you guys have come with?
Each one is unique. You know, the emerald belt, which was full of emeralds for Floyd against Pacquiao, was very special. The money belt was unbelievable. The huichol, the last year's, the white, I don't know if you remember the white, that was the Chapaneco belt. It's just the texture and the design, and there's so many hours put into the production. It's just you fall in love with these belts, and it's hard to get rid of them.
They go to the winner, right?
They go to the winner. It's only one piece, and we just feel it's a moment in time that never comes back, but it's a precious moment that lasts a lifetime.
So it's one of a kind. There's not an extra copy of each of the belt.
No, there's not an extra copy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Don't get too attached to it then.
No, and you know, we decided not to do anything commercial with these belts. A lot of people have asked if there are t-shirts, caps, replicas, mini belts, so many other suggestions. We decided not to touch it because then the attention goes different ways. It's a gift that we give to the world, and there's nothing else attached to this piece.
So what do you think is going to be the September belt? Can you give us any hints, any insights as to what we could see?
It is also going to be a Maya belt, but it's going to be a different design, different elements.
Which elements? Obsidian?
No, you'll see.
Mauricio, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And yeah, it's a really beautiful belt, a really unique piece, very, very detailed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very
as
much.
always.
And thank you for all the support you give to our sport. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mauricio Sulaiman, the head of the WBC, and as we see right here, the Maya belt made out of jade.